guys, and welcome to my Resident Evil 7 Lantern gameplay theory analysis breakdown video. Now, I know I was supposed to have this up like 2 days ago. However, my notes did get deleted twice, so I do apologize about the delay. But before we get into it, I want to point out 2 pieces of information. The first comes from Sony's YouTube channel description on the video. It says that this is one of the mansion's residents and that it's a found footage sequence. And the other piece of information is coming from Capcom themselves. They're saying that this is a plantation, so that means that there is going to be different variations to the mansion, and that this is Margaret Baker. So yes, this is Margaret Baker from the teaser, and that means Jack has also returned to be in Resident Evil 7's main game. I want to remind you that Capcom has said that this Lantern gameplay is found footage sequence, so maybe every time we see a screen like this, that means that it is found footage part that we are playing in. So every time we have this little intro that you're seeing on your screen, probably means we are playing in a video recorder.
Ethan, if you find this, I know I can't expect anything from you. I don't know what happened. There's so much that you need to know.
So here the character is speaking into the camera as it records. She is scared as if she saw something she shouldn't have, or something is threatening her. She is leaving the recording for someone named Ethan. She is saying that she doesn't expect anything from him. She doesn't know what happened, but there are things he needs to know. Now, referring to this dialogue, I have an idea of what's happening here. This is what I think is happening. Ethan is the character we are playing as in the main game, and the girl is probably somebody who is close to him, maybe a girlfriend, maybe a relative of some sort. And she always talked about the mansion. She always brought it up, and every time we did, we tried to change the conversation and talk her out of it. That's why I think she said she can't expect anything from us, because we don't even want to talk about the mansion. However, out of curiosity, she went to the mansion anyways to investigate. She somehow got knocked out, which is why she is saying she doesn't know what happened. So probably somebody came up on her, probably hit her in the back of her head, and then she woke up in a confused state, not knowing what's going on. And after waking up, she sees Margaret Baker, and then she escaped, but Margaret Baker is coming after her. And maybe the female character saw Margaret do something, or maybe when she was escaping, she saw something she wasn't supposed to see. That's why she's telling Ethan there's so much you need to know, because she found something out as she escaped from Margaret Baker. What this something is, but I can't think about something she found that will leave her so shook. It almost seems like she's afraid of the information she discovered more than she's afraid of Margaret. And it kind of makes sense if you think about it. Perhaps that the person we saw in the E3 reveal trailer and the Desolation trailer, we saw somebody driving. Perhaps this is us driving to the mansion, trying to locate this mysterious girl we know almost nothing about. Perhaps we willingly came to the mansion. If you guys remember, in the Desolation trailer, we did see somebody heading towards the mansion in a car. It was evening time. We stayed outside of the mansion during the evening time into nighttime, and if you remember, at the end of the Desolation trailer, we saw somebody come out the car and begin his approach to the mansion. Perhaps we are the person who came out of the car, all to look for this mysterious girl. It's really interesting stuff. What do you guys think about this? Now here we see both of the characters' hands on the gate as she is recording. Now my question is, how is she recording if both her hands are on the gate? Maybe it's the camera that has like a head strap on it, like a GoPro with a head strap. Also, our character, when seeing Margaret, almost immediately ran away and she tried to escape, meaning that she is so afraid of Margaret. She knows Margaret's a threat, and she's trying to leave. Now on the left and right side of the bridge, we see dolls of some sort, and it kind of makes sense because we also saw dolls in a room in the teaser.
I can't let her catch me again.
Now, our character says here we can't let Margaret catch us once again, and that just further confirms that she is terrified of Margaret and that she was once captured by Margaret. But my thing is, if Margaret is this powerful entity with so much powers, how the hell did we escape her? You know, it almost seems like she can be anywhere she wants to be at any time. Also, why hold us prisoner in the first place? You know, in the teaser, Margaret almost instantly killed P as soon as she spawned behind him. You know, so why isn't she dead if she was captured by Margaret already? And why did Margaret let her escape? How did she even escape Margaret? It's pretty weird stuff, but I have an idea that I'm going to talk about a little later on. Here a door shuts right on this girl's face. Perhaps this is one of Margaret Baker's abilities. Maybe she has the power to teleport anywhere. But why close the door in our face? You know, if she can teleport, why not just teleport, grab us, and it's over? You know, it's pretty weird. Now, my idea of why we managed to escape, why we made it this far, because I believe that Margaret is leading us somewhere for some reason. It's the only logical thing I can think of. You know, for one, we escape Margaret even though she can teleport. Two, she's now closing doors on our face for no reason at all. So my thing is that Margaret has to be leading us somewhere. Perhaps she wants us to catch something on camera. You know, other films and other ghost stories and other stories with, you know, paranormal activity happening, they want something to be caught on camera. So perhaps this is also the same thing. Here we see a view of the building on the inside. There looks like there's a ton of destruction, especially on the pillars. You know, I think that, you know, after so long, the pillars are finally starting to decay and everything like that. So maybe that's why there's so much destruction here.
I need to hide. I need to hide.
This is probably the worst hiding place ever. Like, ever. She goes in after again a bit of a pause, and I believe the pause was her saying, I'm going in this door, so do not come in this direction. And that's what we do. It may not seem like it, but our character, going frame by frame anyways, she actually does turn away from the door that Margaret goes into. Here we appear in another room with a projector that's being in use. Now, I think we're here because this is the room that Margaret led us into. For whatever reason, I cannot figure it out. Perhaps there's something in here that she wanted us to catch on camera. Now, on the right side, we see a picture. This picture seems to resemble that of the pictures in the teaser. We also see two windows that are boarded up in the back as well. Here we see a close-up of Margaret Baker. She seems very lifeless, and her skin seems to have lost almost all natural look to it. We know that the mansions was around the woods. We figured this out in my past videos, but here we see how far into the woods the mansion actually extends into, and it extends really deep within the forest. We have a better look of the plantation here and all of the buildings. This part of the forest seems to be like a swamp. Maybe our character didn't just hop off because maybe it's really high up or there's muddy water beneath us. Upon zooming into whatever the projector was showing, it seems to be covered up by a bright white light. And this is an obvious edit from Capcom. Perhaps the projector is showing something that's very secretive and very plot related. Maybe that's why Capcom deliberately covered this up. But what could it be possibly be hiding? Maybe the image is showing us a room that we went into in the present time, you know, during the main game when we're watching this. And now that we saw this tape, we saw the room, then we head back into the room because maybe a key item had spawned or something about the room changed. Similar to the teaser, unless you got through the entire videotape in the teaser, the key would not spawn unless you did. So maybe it's the same way. Maybe that the projector was showing a room we already passed, maybe it was showing a specific part, and now that we've seen it, we can go into that room to grab a key item. And speaking about obvious edits that I mentioned, I want to point out that every time our character had or was about to go into another room, the screen went black. I want to let you guys know that there are other areas that we didn't see. With the screen turning black is called a jump cut. It was pretty much Capcom hiding rooms. There were rooms in between the rooms that we saw the character go into. I just really want to point that out to you guys. So we are not seeing the entire level. They're keeping it really hidden. Here we see a cage that often dogs go into. Maybe this is confirming that dogs may be enemies in the main game. This is the first time we're seeing evidence that dogs may actually make an appearance. You know, in Resident Evil, dogs are pretty common enemies. Dogs were featured in a lot of Resident Evil games. Different forms of dogs, you know, from Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2 had dogs, Resident Evil 4. You all get the gist of it. Now, on the final thing, as this character is about to be captured for a second time. Yo, what is she? Princess Peach? This is the second time she's getting captured by the same person. But anyways, I just want to say that you can see more details on Margaret in this frame. She seems more darker than she was in the teaser. Her eyes are completely blacked out. Maybe this is also pointing to a lot of time between the teaser and the main game, you know, because Margaret's skin does look a lot darker. It looks more aged. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know your thoughts about anything I said. Do you think any of my theories might be right? You know, the fact that we are playing as somebody named Ethan, trying to find somebody who is close to him, and she went to go investigate the mansion on her own, and now she's in trouble, and now we're here to find her. Let me know all of that. I do appreciate you guys waiting for me to make a video on this. I know a lot of you guys have waited, but that's it for the video. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces.